Hello, Shortcuts. Here we are for list 2 for March 6th. This Wednesday, the price list will go out at 9 p.m. as always. If you would like, Sydney time, if you would like to be on that list, drop me an email, shortcutsrecordsaus@gmail.com. All right. So, what do we got for the classic rock list? Well, about a month ago, I got my mitts on a collection of just about every Kiss record that was released in the certainly in the 70s through to kind of early to mid 80s. And sleeves ranged from kind of VG to VG plus, but the vinyl is pristine. The lady who owned the collection, from what I can tell, kind of had the sleeves kind of up, maybe did some, put some on the wall, did some things. I can kind of see where that might have happened. But I doubt she played the records very much at all. They're absolutely wonderful. And so what I thought I would do is give you a quick run through what's left from the collection, and then we'll hit some classic rock as well a little bit later. So what we have, all of these, just think of these, all of them, as beautiful vinyl and pretty good sleeves. Mostly Aussie and UK presses, but if you've got gaps in your Kiss collection and you're a fan, then some of this, I think, will be very pleasing to you. So what we've got Music from the Elder, this gatefold record, very kind of evocative Kiss imagery, produced by Bob Ezrin, that record, back in the day. We also have some of the classics. We've got Dynasty and Destroyer, some of the biggest records in their canon on the Casablanca label, as always. We've got some rarer presses too. So here we have Kiss Killers, again on the Casablanca label. Beautiful vinyl, man, oh man. If you're a Kiss fan, this is just glorious. And then we have Creatures of the Night. Kiss, what year is this? I can't remember what year this is. 1982. I've also got some picture discs. I think that's from the UK. And this was a bit unfortunate. This was a red vinyl release in the early 80s in the UK called Kiss My Ass, which is actually early 90s. That was a series of cover versions of Kiss songs by all sorts of different artists. If you're a mega Kiss fan and you grab some of these, I'll just chuck it in, so just let me know. We also have Kiss Unmasked. We've got the best of the solo albums. This one has a little bit of cover damage right there, but the vinyl is wonderful. We've also got Kiss Alive 2, the double album. We've got Rock and Roll Over, and finally we have Hotter Than Hell. All of those will be very competitively priced and almost certainly an upgrade on your current vinyl if you're collecting originals or early presses of Kiss. Talking about early presses, what about this? This is a 1972 early press of Led Zeppelin 1, Japanese. I'm not sure. I've had 8041A, P8041A. I don't remember seeing this particular pressing very often. I may be wrong, but it's on the generic kind of Atlantic label, but it's in really good nick. Led Zeppelin 1, it's hard to find. This is probably my personal favorite record in this particular list tonight. This, I'm just going to do the reveal. This is the kind of like a mix of, and I'll show you what it says in the back. It's kind of like an Obi sleeve for Beggar's Banquet, the Rolling Stones. And this is a 1973 pressing. So the Obi sleeve kind of has the track list and various things on it. This is the same copy that I have. Oh, it's on the original London label. I love this sleeve. It's really nice hard cardboard in fabulous nick. If I didn't have this one already, it'd be going straight onto my shelf. And I do think this kind of Obi sleeve is pretty great. If you don't have Beggar's Banquet, that's a pretty fabulous copy. All right, this next record is not from Japan. It is the only non-Japan on this list, I think. It is from New Zealand, and it is pretty rare. It is the Skull and Roses live album from 1971 by the Grateful Dead. The New Zealand first press on pretty magnificent vinyl. So there's the two records set. 1971, Grateful Dead had just released probably their greatest 1-2 punch, American Beauty and Working Man's Dead, and went out on the road. At this point, I remember from their history, they either got rid of the drummer and the keyboardist, or two members of the band went anyway. And so the band that went out on the road for this tour was pretty tight. There was only 5. So it's quite guitar driven, and obviously that incredible kind of country rock feel from the likes of American Beauty or Working Man's Dead kind of permeates all the way through this. And so it's a really, really nice listen. Just a really interesting copy. And that New Zealand press is very rare indeed. All right, the Japanese first press of Cream's last album, Goodbye Cream. And this sleeve weighs a ton. There's the proper gatefold, so you can have a good look at it. Badge, of course, being the big hit from this record. And that was the end. Short-lived. That was the end of Cream. Okay. Oh, I want to show you this. This is... I forgot I put this in the list. We're talking about stereo or quadraphonic records earlier. This is the Aussie first press quadraphonic of John Lennon's Imagine. In really nice condition. Vinyl's great, everything's as you would want it to be. But I wanted to show you this. It comes with a poster. Now, I didn't even know that this had a poster, and the poster's wonderful. Look at that. It's fantastic. It's obviously never been hung on the wall. When you think of that video that they shot for Imagine with the white piano and that incredible color palette, that poster really brings it to mind because it's such a washed out image. But when you see it live, oh, it pops. It's really good. All right. Now, this isn't an interesting record as well. This is the most recent record that's on the list. This is the Roger Waters version of that little known record called Dark Side of the Moon on 2LP. I'll show you. The blue vinyl edition. It's absolutely pristine. It's mint. It is perfect condition. It's just unwanted, unloved, needs a new home. I'll be selling it at less than half, probably about half of what I paid for it, because that's the way these things go. But if you're a fan, or if you're curious, Roger Waters, Dark Side of the Moon. This next record's sealed. This is the battery red Walmart special press, brick red Walmart special press, still sealed, of Master of Puppets. This thing has stellar reviews, really, really good reviews. And obviously really hard to find in Australia, but I've got one. So there's Master of Puppets sealed. This is the band that kind of got me into this Japanese vinyl journey. The first Japanese vinyl that I ever heard was Asia by Steely. Now this is Japanese press of Countdown to Ecstasy by the really wonderful and very, very odd Steely Dan. Now, this is the Japanese press on MCA Records. I know that Steely Dan are a bit bovril, but that run of their first probably 7 records through to Asia is pretty amazing. And Countdown to Ecstasy doesn't let the side down. Showbiz Kids, King of the World, Bodhisattva, and the Boston Rag, of course. Really, really sounds wonderful. Really does. I do not have anything other than Japanese presses of Steely Dan. Now here's a rare one. This is the Japanese first press of Neil Young's Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, the first record that he recorded with the mighty Crazy Horse. The first and maybe the best, who knows, it's certainly arguable. Cinnamon Girl, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, Round and Round, Down by the River, The Losing End, Running Dry, Cowgirl in the Sand. It's an amazing album on the Reprise label. If you don't have that record, give it a spin. I've also got Neil Young's After the Gold Rush, another gatefold wonderful version. And talking about gatefolds, I'm going to finish with the 1975 Japanese pressing on the wonderful label. Look at that. Island of Roxy Music's debut album. There we go. That is a gatefold. And there's the band. How wonderful is that? Phil Manzanera, Andrew McKay, Brian Ferry, Eno. That's all it says. Eno. Yeah. Paul Thompson and Graham Simpson. Wonderful record. Set the scene. Sounds great. If you don't have Roxy Music records, grab some Roxy Music records. And the Japanese presses are the place to start. So there you have it. Kiss, Grateful Dead, Roxy Music, Neil Young, and a stellar pressing of Beggar's Banquet from the Rolling Stones. So there is, by definition, I think, a classic rock list. As always, please subscribe. If you want to see the price list, it'll come out 9 p.m. Wednesday, March 6th. Send me an email, shortcutsrecordsaus@gmail.com. Thank you for watching if you've made it this far, and speak to you all soon.